money as a gift.
A small matter to fill you with such gratitude.
I had never known such kindness.
There is nothing harder in this world than poverty, dear girl. I wish for you an altered nature and a changed life and a sense of hope.
I promised to pay it all back, of course.
And I release you from that contract. Remember this kindness and offer to help someone else one day. It is never too late to change. May you be happy in the life that you choose.
He saved my life. Truly he did. I owe him everything.
And that's why you intended to give him the blue carbon, to repay him.
Ebenezer believed people could change, and I wanted him to see he was right. Fanny, Mr. Topper, would you come back in here, please? Say nothing of Ebenezer's death. No offense, Sherlock. Your bedside manners are a bit lacking. Mr. Holmes, this is Francine Gardner. She's my dresser and the daughter of Mr. Scrooge's nephew, Fred.
I saw a portrait of your grandmother Fanny in Mr. Scrooge's study. You look remarkably like her.
I'm told Uncle loved her more than anything in the world.
And this is Mr. Topper, the manager of the Cosmopolitan Hotel.
And an old friend of Fan's father, Freddie, my former business partner who lives in America now.
Are you in Mr. Scrooge's debt too?
Excuse me, sir?
We all owe a great deal to Ebenezer, though Fanny is not speaking terms with her uncle at the moment. Could you tell him, Fanny, it's important?
My uncle Ebenezer recently told me of a change to his will. I wanted him to know I wouldn't ask for a penny of his money, but I was desperate for his support. You see, Father doesn't approve of my engagement to Ralph. Ralph Fezziwig, a young man I know since childhood. Uncle likes Ralph, of course. He's known the Fezziwigs for years. But he insisted he would not interfere and speak to Father on my behalf. He said it was not his place.
That is because Ralph Fezziwig is musician Fan. A musician! No father wishes his daughter to marry such a creature.
Ralph plays the violin in our orchestra. You'd like him.
Your father merely wishes you to marry someone more older, more stable, perhaps a bit older. Someone with a sure hand in business.
Mr. Topper, I've told you before, I am not flattered.
Well, I hope you won't regret your decision.
If only Uncle would intervene. I went to see him late last night to make amends, but when I saw him through the window of his study, I didn't have the courage to knock.
Countess, what does this domestic drama have to do with the blue carbon?
Yesterday, I was to personally deliver the blue carbuncle to Mr. Scrooge as a present. The diamond was here, in my dressing room, under lock and key. In the morning, Mr. Topper let in a hotel employee, Bill Wiggins, to repair a window.
Wiggins.
I came back late, sir. Wiggins was gone.
And so was the diamond. The drawer had been forced open,
He was arrested several hours later.
but the stone couldn't be found.
I know Mr. Wiggins well, and I cannot believe he's a thief.
The man fainted while they carried him out, protesting his innocence.
But you are satisfied with his guilt, Mr. Topper.
Wiggins had a previous conviction, see, and if he is stolen from my hotel...
The reputation of the Cosmopolitan is intact, Mr. Topper. That'll be all for now.
Yes, for now.
Mr. Holmes, you're a man of renown. I hope you can recover the diamond and clear Mr. Wiggins, and perhaps, too, speak to Uncle on my behalf. Ralph is, after all, my true love.
She's young. She doesn't know yet. With true love comes
A
a...
partridge in a pear tree.
Oh, that was Ebenezer's favorite Christmas carol. No, I was going to say with true love comes a certain amount of heartache. Perhaps you can help her in some way, though. After all, you are the great Sherlock Holmes.
Am I?
Oh, you really are lost this time, aren't you, my love? I leave London tomorrow by steamer, a Christmas voyage. My next engagement is in Australia. If you do find the blue carbuncle, I trust you to know what to do with it. That diamond has history, just like us.
Do you think Mr. Scrooge was right? Can people really change?
Maybe one day we'll put his theory to the test. In the meantime, I best go tell Fan about her uncle.
Then this is goodbye.
For now, Merry Christmas, Mr. Mr. Holmes. I hope you catch the spirit.
No, I do not believe in ghosts.
Back to the streets.
Back to the fog,
Back to the cold. Down this lane and that.
following the tracks of wheels and wagons, the furrows that cross and recross each other hundreds of times.
Intricate channels hard to trace in the thick yellow mud of the pavement.
There's someone following me.
Now, a different street. An empty street. The house fronts here are black enough, the windows blacker still.
The sky is dark. There is no Christmas here. There is nothing here, not a soul. Or is there?
Show yourself!
Mr. Holmes, it's only me.
Emma! Emma Wiggins, you are following me.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. I went to the Cosmopolitan Hotel to investigate on my own to clear my father's name. But then I saw you. You're on the case, aren't you?
Oh no, Emma.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Holmes. I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Go home, Emma.
But I have nowhere to go, sir. My father was all I had in this world, and without him I'm lost. I'm quite hungry. What am I to do?
Follow me.
Of course you can stay tonight at St. Bernard's, Emma, and you'll have a proper Christmas dinner too. My sister's preparing a goose.
Will there be potatoes, Dr. Cratchit?
Oh, there will be, Emma, and a bit of pudding, I shouldn't wonder. Now, go join the others.
Thank you, sir.
Shall we camp here tonight, Mr. Holmes? Although I'm not sure how much longer our doors will remain open. We're in dire straits, I'm afraid.
A sizable inheritance from Mr. Scrooge would help matters, no doubt.
Mr. Scrooge was always more than generous to this hospital.
I want
That's a rather nasty coffee now. Let me fetch you something. Sit.
Oh, what an apothecary you have there.
So I keep my cabinet locked tight. Too many robberies, I'm afraid. One just last week. I have all sorts of dangerous mixtures in here. Laudanum, morphine, cocaine.
I'll forgo my usual 7% solution and take the other half of that bottle of cyanide in the top shelf.
Never joke like that to a doctor, sir. Every life is precious. Have enough of this.
But this is merely...
Brandy, from my own personal supply. Cheers.
Now, to business.
What?
The hat of Mr. H.B. You know my methods. Apply them.
Very well. Now then. To begin with, it's obviously an old hat.
Brilliant.
I give up.
Try again.
Red so plain, discolored, no maker's name, initial scrolled aside, the elastic is missing.
Better.
Dusty, spotted in places, some attempt made to cover the worn patches with ink. Other than that, I see nothing.
How disappointing.
What am I missing?
The owner is highly intellectual and fairly well to do within the last 3 years. Although he has fallen upon hard times, he drinks too much, which may account for the fact his wife no longer loves him.
Come now, Mr. Holmes, I only have one good leg to pull.
He has retained some degree of self-respect. He leads a sedentary life. He is middle-aged, has grizzled hair, recently cut, and uses lime cream.
Oh no, surely.
Also, it is extremely unlikely there's gas laid on in his house.
All right then, one by one. What makes you think this man was intellectual?
It is a question of cubic capacity. Any man with so large a brain must have something in it.
Oh, please. And his fortunes?
This hat is 3 years old. If he was able to afford such an expensive hat 3 years ago and has had no hat since, he's assuredly gone down in the world.
And his drinking?
He has enough self-respect to cover the whiskey stain from the felt with ink. That his middle age is clear by the large number of grey scissor-cut hair ends and the faint odor of lime cream along the linen.
And his wife?
This hat has not been brushed for weeks. He's exhausted his wife's affections.
Perhaps he's a bachelor.
His ring finger cuts into the felt on the side here.
And the gas?
One tallow stain, even two, might come by chance. I see 5. He comes into frequent contact with burning wax. At night he walks up the stairs with his hat in one hand and a candle in the other. Are you satisfied, Watson?
Cratchit, sir.
I beg your pardon.
You called me Watson.
I did not.
Mr. Holmes, perhaps you'd like a second opinion from a more familiar doctor?
Timmy, it's the goose, You got to see it.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, allow me to introduce my dear sister, Martha.
Miss Cratchit.
Hello. Who's your handsome friend then, Timmy?
This is Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes, eh?
Yes, the famous detective.
Never heard of him.
Martha,
And is there a Mrs. Sherlock Holmes?
you'll have to forgive my sister, Mr. Holmes.
Oh, why for? He's obviously not married. He's got no ring on his finger. And I'll wager he hasn't got a woman in his life either, as evidenced by his lack of concern for his general appearance. Though he is a man of some means, he likes to travel. This shirt is Italian make, and these shoes are only available in Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken.
I say, maybe you two should get to know each other after all.
Thank you just the same.
All right, don't have to be such a Scrooge about it.
Excuse me.
Martha has never quite taken to Mrs. Scrooge. She remembers him from a time before his change.
You don't believe in Scrooge's redemption.
If a man can turn over a new leaf that easily, he can always turn back. Some people don't change.
I wonder.
Oh, I see. You've already found true love, but your heart's been broken. Just my luck. Interesting ones are always taken.
Martha!
Well, if she is the woman, go after her. True love is hard to come by, believe me.
Martha, please. Apologies, Mr. Holmes. Now, what of the goose?
Oh, yes, the goose. I almost forgot. Look at what I found in its crop while I was preparing the bird. Is this a thing?
By Jove, Miss Cratchit, this is a thing indeed.
Mr. Holmes, is that?
It most certainly is. The blue carbuncle.
Lord have mercy. Wait, what's a blue carbuncle?
Carbuncle, Miss Cratchit. It is a rare stone found in the banks of the Amoy River in southern China. It has a sinister history. There have been 2 murders, a suicide, and several robberies for the sake with its 40-grain weight of crystallized charcoal. This pretty toy recently found its way into the hand of an old friend. It was she who wanted to give it to Ebenezer Scrooge.
And will you return it to her?
She has asked me to handle that matter myself. Emma Wiggins' father was arrested yesterday for stealing the ball.
Is Wiggins guilty?
I highly doubt it.
And what of HB?
Probably an innocent man with no idea the value of the bird he carried.
If only we knew the identity of the hat's owner.
Is that him?
Martha, please!
Oh, pipe down, both of you. I've seen this hat before.
You have?
Yes, the funny little stains and everything. You can know a lot about a man from his hat.
But exactly, Miss Cratchit.
You're looking for a middle-aged man with a sullen wife,
Yes, a man was taken to drink.
who is highly intelligent
A man was fallen upon hard times.
and uses a candle.
A man who has initials HB.
Oh yes, that's right. That'd be Mr. Burke's hat. Fits the description perfectly.
Henry Burke?
Who, pray tell us, Henry Burke?
It's a friend of Mr. Scrooge's. Owns the candle shop down on Arthur Court. He comes to the hospital to read to the children on Tuesdays.
Are you sure of this, Miss Cratchit?
As sure as I'm Tiny Tim's sister.
Mr. Holmes, Martha is never wrong.
And what's she gonna do with that tiny little diamond?
Until the missing will turns up, I shall hold on to it. In the meantime, I must pay a visit to Henry Burke.
Oh, you can't go out like that in this cold. Here, take a spare coat.
Oh. Thank you. You have been most helpful. What is it?
The coat belonged to Mrs. Scrooge at one time.
You look quite like him, you know.
Do I?
It's like looking at a ghost.
Bah!
Christmas Eve fast approaches, though it has been quite dark all day. The many passerbys hustle to and fro,
quick about it.
Though the cold is intense, holly sprigs and berries crackle in the heart of shop windows, making Holmes's pale face ruddy as he passes by, until, at last, he finally reaches.
Old Candlery, Henry Burke, proprietor.
What? Is it you? I thought you were dead.
I beg your pardon. My name is...
Scrooge? Sure. And I knew you'd be coming back. Why, it just wouldn't be Christmas without you now.
What? No, my name is Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes.
Mr. Burke, stay yourself.
You're not Scrooge after all, are you? Oh no.
Come, by the fire. It is a cold night.
Forgive me. I mistook you for someone else, I did. A friend of mine, Ebenezer Scrooge. They say he died this morning.
I'm afraid it's true.
Fair dues like. I was just dozing in the back room, dreaming about him, and then I come out and see your man in the door dressed like that.
Slight trick of the mind.
I'm taking a little swig too. Bit of a joltification. Don't tell the wife.
Mr. Burke, is this your hat?
It is. But I thought sure I'd lost it
When you
when.
came this morning to Mr. Scrooge's house carrying a large goose as a present.
That's right. Was Mr. Scrooge helped me open this candle shop when I came from Dublin without hardly a penny. Every year I bring him a fine goose for Christmas as a thank you. But
You
today,
were attacked by some ruffians and lost both your bird and your hat.
an expensive goose too. But I was happy to spend a portion of what savings I have lately on Mr. Scrooge.
The hat I return to you. As for the goose, I was compelled to eat it.
To eat it? Do you mean it's gone?
Yes. However, I do hope a replacement bird might satisfy. Or the one in this pouch, too.
Oh, it will, sir, it will.
Of course, I have the feathers, legs, and crop of the original bird if you wish to have them.
I can hardly see what use that disjecta member of my old goose might be to me. No, sir, with your permission, I will bring home that fine bird you have there.
Excellent answer. Here you are. Your wife will be pleased, no doubt.
Oh, my wife has never been quite pleased with anything, sir, believe me.
Depends, might I ask, where the other bird came from? I'm somewhat of a fowl fancier myself.
There are a few of us who frequent the Alpha Inn, near the museum. This year our hostess, Mrs. Windigate, by name, instituted a goose club.
A goose club.
For a few pence every week we each receive a bird at Christmas. My pence were duly paid and the rest is familiar to you.
I see. Good afternoon.
But I have nothing to give you in return for your kindness.
Oh,
Would you like a candle made to order any scent you wish? This one is from Scrooge's last batch, in fact. There, little.
No gifts, please.
Then keep the hat. It's all I can offer. Scrooge considered even the smallest gifts to be important. It all adds up, you would always say. That ghosts taught in that, but of course you know all about ghosts.
Would I?
Oh, he would talk about it to anyone who would listen now, wouldn't he? The ghosts at Christmas had taught him his lessons. Were ye a close personal friend of his?
No. But I wish you could talk to the man just now. I have questions.
Then talk to him. Some spirits answer, don't you know? No one's ever really come. Certain folk, if they have a hold on us, they stay with us forever, even after they've passed.
What do you mean by that? Oh, it's inevitable twaddle.
Oh no, sir. Ghosts are real, it's quite certain.
The only thing certain is that you are a fool who knows nothing of the matter. I should have never taken this case. Ghosts, they're missing diamonds. My business here is done.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes, I only meant
To what?
to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Bah!
A bitter night.
A bitter stone.
No Christmas for this tortured soul.
His footfalls ring down Wimble Street.
Down to Wigmore, into Oxford, and on and on.
Through a maze of empty passageways.
Baker Street. I must return to Baker Street.
His breath blows like so many pistol shots.
Who's there? Who's following me? Is it you?
The sky is darker now.
And the wind grows stronger.
His mind is torn. He knows not how.
I can go no longer.
His spots where it's open. Confusion sets in.
Who's there? Show yourself! Is it you? Moriarty? Is it you? I do not believe in ghosts! Scrooge?
Bah! Humbug!